So to do this technique, all you need are some paints, some paper towel, and whatever you're going to be painting. And these are just a few of the samples of paints that I've scrounged around and found. You can use pretty much any type of paint. I've got some spray paints here. I've used some house paint. I got out all of my acrylic colors to play around with. And I'm actually going to be working on some small little pieces of aluminum that I flattened and then made into these little templates, because I'm going to be testing a lot of different paint color combinations. And the paper towel can be torn up into pretty small pieces. You just need a little piece for each color. So these are some of the samples that I've done so far, and I'm just kind of playing around with different colors, and then I've noted on the back what color, whoops, that's upside down. I've noted on the back what paint colors I use, just in case I want to ever go back to these color palettes and use them on a certain project. I certainly like some of the finishes better than others, but I think they all have applications that you could use them for. Some of them have more paint, less paint. And like I said, I definitely have color combinations that I like better than some of the others. This is one of my favorites. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know I've been using this finish on a lot of projects. I call it my faux oxidized copper finish, and I do use it on a lot of things. But I was also trying to work on some more fall palette colors and some just different palette colors to have to reference for future projects. So there aren't any hard and fast rules to this technique, but I like to start with a base color and then 3 additional colors. And I've used spray paints for my bases. You can use any paint color you want, but by far my favorite undertone colors are these metallic colors. And in case you haven't already guessed, the copper is definitely my favorite. I've gone ahead and spray painted 3 of my little template pieces here, and I did actually spray this one with the silver color just because it helps the other paints adhere a little bit better. But I'm going to be starting with my gold template here, and I've got my 3 other colors, and this couldn't be simpler. You're just going to wad up a little piece of paper towel, and you want a piece of paper towel for each color. And what I usually do is I start with my lighter color and work to my darker colors, but you can certainly go back and add more of any color if you want to. And you really don't want to overthink this. You're just going to dab it on and then switch to your next color. And you can just keep working at it till you have it the way you like it. Sometimes you want to just sort of dab on some color. Sometimes you might want to smudge on a whole lot more color, give it more texture, smear it a little. There's really no right or wrong way to do it. And if you get more paint on than you want, you can certainly pull some of it off. But like I said, the most important piece of it is to not overthink what you're doing. Oops. Definitely don't overthink what you're doing. And if you don't like your first try, you can certainly try it again. You can do it on paper if it's easier. I just like these aluminum pieces because they're a little bit more long lasting, and they'll be a good reference for me in the future. One of the things you really don't want to overthink is your color choices. I mean, if you find some that you really like together, those are easy. But if you're sort of trying to figure out some different color palettes, just let yourself choose really wild colors that you would maybe never put together, especially if you've got a little test sample that you're working with. And I've even made myself pick colors sort of blindfolded just out of my stash. So let yourself play around with some really wild color combinations. So this is just a really fast and simple way to add some color to your projects. This next step is optional, but because a lot of my colors are drying very matte finished, I really like to seal my pieces, and I, for some reason, always like a glossy finish. So I've been using this DuraClear gloss varnish on a lot of projects. It's great and really easy to work with, and the other thing is that it is supposed to hold up in the outdoors. So I've done several projects that I finished with this product, and they are outside right now, and so far they're holding up great. So I'm excited to have a product that finishes and seals acrylic paint that I can use outside.